see. We are on, ladies and gentlemen. We are on this evening. What day is it? I don't even know. I think it's a Tuesday. It could be a Monday, and it might even be a Wednesday. Guys, normally we double stream. Today we are finally doing it, ladies and gentlemen. We are triple streaming. We're streaming on TikTok, we're streaming on YouTube, and we are streaming on X. I think, I'm not 100% certain, but I think we are streaming on X as well. Listen, guys, I'm just going to come out with it. I'm going to hold my hands up. I'm going to say, ladies and gentlemen, I was wrong, but I was also right. I was wrong what I said when people were talking and people were saying, Sean, are the government importing thousands of foreign soldiers, UN soldiers into the United Kingdom? Well, I said, listen, guys, I think that is far-fetched, even for my conspiratorial mind. But it turns out, ladies and gentlemen, secretly, the British government have been importing thousands of foreign military people who worked with the military in Afghanistan into the United Kingdom, and this is going to cost, from some estimates, this is costing £7 billion. These numbers, ladies and gentlemen, are absolutely unfathomable, guys. They really are unfathomable. I'm just going to play you guys a short video now from Nigel Farage. Now, I think he articulates this very well. I'm not going to play the whole video. Oh yes, Alex R is saying I'm streaming on X. Guys, listen, it's been a long road, but we are finally triple streaming, guys. So we're triple streaming on TikTok, we are streaming on YouTube, and we are streaming on X. We are fully multi-domain domination, guys. Multi-domain domination. And don't forget to hit the buttons up here if you're watching, whether you're watching on X, on YouTube, on TikTok now, because we're triple streaming. Whatever the buttons are, guys, can you please hit them and show your support? So the next thing we're going to listen to now, guys, is Nigel Farage, and he's going to be talking about this absolute scandal, guys. Absolute scandal. So the next voice you hear is going to be Nigel Farage's.
Scandal has broken. Extraordinary that a British government put a super injunction on all the British media that lasted for over 2 years to cover up a story of incompetence, dishonesty, and a threat to our own national security. An email missent published the names of 100,000 people in Afghanistan that were available to the Taliban. Many of them had helped us during that 20-year war there. Others were known to us for being, frankly, just bad people. Either way, it was decided in 2023 that we would airlift many of them out of Afghanistan, a process that continues to this day. We decided that 25,000 of the 100,000 should come to the United Kingdom. Amongst the number that have come are convicted sex offenders. I am not, I promise you, making any of this up. And the total cost of the operation has been a staggering £7 billion.
So where's this money coming from, guys? Where is this money coming from? There's no money for public utilities. There's no money to help the elderly. There's no money for your nan and granddad when the weather turns cold. But there's and guys, listen, these numbers, these are secret numbers. As I understand it, these numbers are secret. So these guys, when they don't count as part of the immigration numbers.
Of those that came, none of them were included in the immigration figures. There has been a total veil of secrecy put upon this by the last Conservative government, and frankly carried on until now by the current Labour government. The numbers are off the charts. The cost is beyond comprehension, and the threat to women walking the streets of this country, frankly, is incalculable.
So there we have it, guys. Nigel Farage articulated that better than me. It's just a scandal, guys. How much more can we take in this small island? Literally, guys, how much more can we take in this small island? So, guys, listen, I'll be honest with you guys. I did not think that was happening. When people were saying to me, Sean, is the government importing soldiers? Is the government importing foreign soldiers? And I was like, no, that's not happening, guys. That can't happen. There's a lot that can. Well, turns Turns out, ladies and gentlemen, I was wrong. I will hold my hands up to it. I did not think that this was a possibility in the United Kingdom, guys. I didn't. I'll be quite clear with you guys. You know, it's unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. It's unbelievable. Now, I'm going to read to you guys an article, just a headline, because I was wrong, but I was also right on quite a few other things as well that I'll come on to in a minute that Googly just put me onto. So the UK is a powder keg, and this is from today, guys, in The Guardian, okay? The UK is a powder keg of social tensions, and the government keep pouring more powder into it. Research finds a third of people rarely meet someone from a different background. The UK is a powder keg of social tensions, with a third of people rarely meeting anyone from different backgrounds, research has found. A report from the think tank British Future. I'm going to Google them in a minute, guys. Let me just, in fact, you know what? Let me just highlight that, and I'll Google those now, because I'm going to try and find out who they are. These articles, ladies and gentlemen, I'm reading these for the first time. Like I said, I jumped on here because I've been messing about with my X account, because we are triple streaming. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, we are triple streaming. A report from the think tank British Future and the social cohesions group Belong Network found that a year from last summer's riots, there was a risk of unrest being ignited unless urgent action was taken to address issues of polarization and division. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you this now. I'll tell you this now for absolutely free. I'll tell you this for free. The information I'm going to give you, ladies and gentlemen, is not going to cost you anything. Governments are not proactive. They're not. They can't be proactive. So what do I mean by that? Governments, if they are proactive, for example, if the government now invests, I don't know, 10 billion, well, we haven't got 10 billion. Like any money we invest it in migrants. But if the government invested money now and tried to stop the civil unrest on the streets, and then there was no civil unrest on the streets, then people would say, well, hang on a minute, we've just wasted all that money on social cohesion. There was never anything going to happen. So what they do is they wait till things break, and then they're reactive to that breaking. Guys, listen, we are at breaking point. I should have had that as the thumbnail, I think. Research found that 31% of adults said they rarely or never had opportunities to meet people from different backgrounds. And a third say they did not frequently get a chance to meet other people at all in their local community. So I think what they're talking about here is, I think they're politely putting this. We have huge communities in the United Kingdom of people who are not from the United Kingdom. And what I think that sentence means is 31% of adults in the UK don't meet anyone outside that community. So, for example, if you're a Pakistani community, a Bangladeshi community, a Somalian community, you know, you do not meet with other communities. So rather than integrating in societies, what we're doing is we're carving chunks of our country out and giving them as little enclaves of other countries. In a forward, where are we? Hang on. But basically, guys, the article goes on and it says the UK is rife for, well, let me give you the headline again. The UK is a powder keg of social tensions. I'm just going to leave that there, guys, because I think that encapsulates what I think it says it best there, guys. Yeah, powder keg of social tensions. And those social tensions are going to build up. They're going to move forwards, and they will ignite, guys, this summer. But apparently, yeah, guys, listen, there's an article out also in the Telegraph. Russia and Iran trying to recruit British school children for espionage. Counterterrorism police urges parents and teachers to be vigilant over the threat. So it turns out that you know what I've been saying on this channel for the longest time, where I've been saying that, guys, look, gone are the days where you send your best, your best guy in his three-piece suit with his, expensive watch and his sports car, and he's got all these little gadgets. Those days are gone, ladies and gentlemen. Those days are gone, my friend. We thought they'd never end. We'd sing and dance forever and a day. Yeah, those days are gone, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't happen anymore. What happens now, I would speculate, and so does this article tell you that it's happening, is rather than send your best James Bond guy to another country to try and do some swizzly-dizzly stuff, you just pay people. You recruit people online. You give them money. You ask them to do stuff. You know, be under no doubt, guys, this is going to be low-level stuff. This is going to be low-level stuff like go to a certain pipe and drill holes in it at 3 o'clock on Tuesday. Go and set fire by a substation or something. Lots of different things. The article continues. Hostile states are trying to recruit British school children to carry out acts of surveillance and sabotage in the United Kingdom. I've been warning about it for a long time, guys. I've been saying this. You know, I'm not even going to say that this is coming. I think we're already in an advanced state of this, guys. I do think we're already in an advanced state. Priv Caro, right, guys, I'm going to jump up and get some of the comments, guys. I'm going to jump up and get some of the comments. Grumbling Grunts is saying, where did you see that article about? Right, guys, so the article I just read you guys is from the Telegraph. It was published today at 6:27 today, guys. So 6:27 today, the Telegraph. Russia and Iran trying to recruit British school children for espionage. That's on the mainstream media, ladies and gentlemen. That's not me. That is not my speculation. That is not my opinion, and that is not my analysis. Now, that is mainstream news, guys. Look, we are always months in front of this channel. We are always months in front of what's happening. But I will say something, guys. I was wrong. I was wrong. Where is it? Somebody says, Sean, where was you wrong? So Priv Carroll here is saying, Sean, hello. What was you wrong with? Look, guys. People were saying, Sean, do you think that there are NATO soldiers being imported into the United Kingdom? And where they're not particularly NATO soldiers, it does turn out that thousands of Afghan soldiers are, I have forgotten how to talk, thousands of Afghan soldiers are being secretly relocated in the United Kingdom. Now, I'll just read you this article, guys, okay? Thousands of Afghans relocated to the UK under a secret scheme after a data leak. MOD tried to cover up an error which gave details of Afghans who they said worked with the United Kingdom and which led to a $2 billion scheme. Where are we? Personal information, fears that the individuals would be at risk from reprisals from the Taliban led the previous government to set up a secret relocation scheme, the Afghan response route, involving 20,000 people at a cost of near $2 billion. At noon Tuesday, the High Court judge, Mr. Chamberlain, announced that the super injunction first obtained by the MOD in 2023 would be lifted, allowing the leak of the secret location scheme to be reported for the first time. So what else don't we know, guys? What else don't we know? And I'm just looking at these guys in the Sangin Valley. Now, listen, guys, this is just breaking the news at the moment. I'm sure more information will come out about this. I'm sure more information will come out. But it does to me, anyway, guys, look, guys, listen, I may be wrong about this whole thing, but this is what I'm reading now, guys, okay? And I'm getting different information. There's lots of different numbers out on the internet as well, guys. Remember, this is breaking news right now, ladies and gentlemen. Lots of different media are reporting slightly different numbers. I'm hearing 20,000 Afghans, I'm hearing 33,000 Afghans, and I'm hearing 100,000 Afghanis. So I don't know what the actual numbers are. I'm hearing that the numbers are 2 billion, 800 million, up to 7 billion. So it's quite difficult at the moment to understand what the actual numbers are. But you know what, guys? I think we are just seeing the start. And the question is this, ladies and gentlemen, what else is being kept from us? Like, what other information, like where is it, the government, or was it the MOD? I can't remember whether it was whatever I just said when I was reading it. Whether it was the government who filed for the super injunction or the MOD that filed for the super injunction. Hang on. Yeah, it was the MOD. So these super injunctions, they stop anyone talking about it. So you can't even say, I've got information on X, Y, and Z. You're not even allowed to mention it. So what else is there super injunctions on, guys? Like, people are asking for freedom of information, and we are sat here. And look, I was watching an article about I can't remember what it was on, and there was this guy, and he's talking about how people should tax the rich, how people should tax the rich, and I was thinking, like, what's happening now is people are leaving this country, people who are the business owners, people who are the employers, people who are the people who are paying tax. They're the people who are leaving. I mean, I've got a friend. Yeah, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, I have a friend. I've got a friend. He's not like mega rich. And he's saying, look, Sean, I'm thinking about going to Benidorm at the moment and just buying a little house in Benidorm and just living there until this whole thing blows over. So, if people who are not mega rich are thinking about leaving, you can imagine what the sentiment is. You can imagine what the sentiment is on people who have that means, are like, well, do you know what? I don't spend that much time in the United Kingdom anyway, so I am going. Right, guys, listen, I'm going to jump up and I am going to get some comments. I'm going to jump on your comments on, I'm going to go on, where am I going to go? Where am I going to go first? I'm going to go on TikTok first. I'm going to go on TikTok because I've been streaming on TikTok the longest. Sharon Stewart is saying, this is only going to provoke violent protests. We can't trust the government. Grumbling Grunts is saying, yeah, the initial numbers I heard was 200,000, but I've seen all sorts of numbers. Guys, listen, I want to reiterate this at the moment, okay? This is breaking news right now. There's a lot of, with this scandal that's just broken today, guys, about the Afghans being relocated in the United Kingdom, I want to be quite clear for this live stream, and we are recording this. All these videos will go up on YouTube. There are a lot of different numbers being bashed around at the moment now, guys. Grumbling Grunts is saying he heard there was 200,000. I heard 100,000, then I heard 33,000, then I heard 20,000. I've heard it's going to cost 800 million. I've heard it's going to cost 2 billion. We just heard Nigel Farage there talking about how that's going to cost 7 billion. So right now, guys, I'm saying this is breaking news. There's a lot of information, a lot of different information being spread about, guys, and we're just looking at this in real time, guys. But do you know what's not breaking news? That the United Kingdom is an absolute powder keg of social tensions at the moment, guys. Nobody can deny that. I don't think anyone can deny that. Right, let me get these comments on TikTok again. Paul Africa Twin is saying, our government has been subversive to the British people. Don't we realize how damaging this is? Yeah, it's unbelievable, guys. It is unbelievable. These super injunctions. Remember, like, I don't know about you guys, but I feel I have a right. I feel that I have a right to know where my tax money is going. I really do, guys. I feel like I have a right to understand where my tax money is being spent. Googly is saying free speech under threat as Britons believe they can no longer speak their mind. Google it. I would say that 100%, I know people now who are too scared to post things online because they know that they've literally been told by their employers that if they see anything of any of their staff that is, detrimental to the company, they're going to look at that and they're going to investigate it. So, for example, if you say you don't like someone or something, or if you say you don't agree, and people are just too scared. So people, and again, guys, look, when we talk about free speech, that free speech gives you that, what's his name? Villain? The idiot? I don't know. His name's like Pascal Jason, like Pascal Rupert Foster or something. I don't know. But this guy at Glastonbury, I don't like what he said, and I think what he said was ridiculous, and it was just horrible. It sent like a shiver through me, and all those people in the front crowd going, yeah, yeah. Like, you know, when he got up there and he's like, "You want your country back?" Ha ha. And then he's like really rude. I was like, right, that is disgusting. And like, but I think he should be able to say that. I do. I think he should be able to say that. Like I think you should be able to say anything you want to say. Like I think Lucy Conley should be able to say what she wants to say. Like I think there's a guy. I think there's a guy who's in prison for swearing at a horse or something. Like, and I'm like, right, really? Is this where we are in the United Kingdom? I think there's even the fact that I'm thinking this, I might be wrong, but the fact that I'm not sure if I'm right and I'm not thinking, oh no, that's ridiculous. Nobody can get sent to prison for swearing at a horse. But I'm thinking, did they swear at a horse or were they aggressive to a horse? Or I can't remember what it was. Might have been a dog. But yeah, it's absolutely insane. Hang on, where are we, guys? Tina is saying, right, okay. Hang on. So Tina is saying it's repatriation. They helped the British fight in Afghanistan. Beckingham camp was one of the temporary camps. So yes, I get that. But what this has done is, guys, you know, listen, guys, I'll play you Nigel Farage's speech again because he articulates this better than me and says, because some of these people are convicted offenders. And guys, listen, it takes a lot to get convicted in Afghanistan. So this is Nigel Farage's speech, guys, on what's happening in, this is Nigel Farage's speech, guys. I'm just going to jump off screen and get myself a bottle of water.
The Afghan scandal has broken. Extraordinary that a British government put a super injunction on all the British media that lasted for over 2 years to cover up a story of incompetence, dishonesty, and a threat to our own national security. An email missent published the names of 100,000 people in Afghanistan that were available to the Taliban. Many of them had helped us during that 20-year war there. Others were known to us for being, frankly, just bad people. Either way, it was decided in 2023 that we would airlift many of them out of Afghanistan, a process that continues to this day. We decided that 25,000 of the 100,000 should come to the United Kingdom. Amongst the number that have come are convicted sex offenders. I am not, I promise you, making any of this up. And the total cost of the operation has been a staggering £7 billion. Of those that came, none of them were included in the immigration figures. There has been a total veil of secrecy put upon this by the last Conservative government and frankly carried on until now by the current Labour government.
So these people that we're importing, guys, you know, like Nigel Farage has just said there, you know, these people that were, guys, listen, I'm going to jump over to the YouTube in a second, guys. I will jump over to the YouTube comments in a second. But like Nigel just said there, you know, a lot of these people, like, we don't know who they are. Guys, look, I served in Afghanistan for a long time. I've done probably more tours than a lot of people in Afghanistan. You know, and I will say that a lot of the people that we worked with, you wouldn't want them living next door to you, guys. You know, you wouldn't want them living next door to you. Yes, you know, they did help the British government, but you know what, guys? They didn't really help the British government. They were helping themselves. You see where we're going with that? And I think this is a popular misconception. If, you know, if you're in the military, in your own country, trying to bring peace, trying to bring democracy, trying to bring the rule of law, you're not helping the British government. You're actually helping yourself. So I would argue that these people didn't help. Look, guys, and this is my opinion, okay? I would say that these people didn't help the British government. They were helping themselves to try and build a better world for themselves, to build a better community. They were trying to help themselves. You know, I don't think they were helping the British government, guys. You know, and it's kind of one of those plays on words where people say, "Oh, they were helping the British military." Okay, but who are the British military helping? Well, the British military were trying to bring peace and stability to Afghanistan and trying to bring the rule of law. Oh, so the British military were trying to help Afghanistan? Yes. So you guys were helping the British military? Yes. So really, you see where we're going with this, guys. And when people say, "Oh, but they help the British military," yes, that they were really helping they were really trying to help themselves. They didn't apply for visas, come to live in the get accepted, come to live in the United Kingdom, then get deployed to another country. They didn't, you see where I'm going with that, guys, okay? The people who we're talking about here, they didn't, they were helping Afghanistan, not the British military. There was a question here. I'm going to come on to this, guys, and then I'm going to jump over to YouTube. Right. So do you think there's going to be a war in the next 6 months? And are the hang on, where's that gone? Right, I can only see a bit of this comment, guys, from James Harris. Do you think there's going to be a war in the next 6 months? And are the UK armed forces going to send where's that? I can't find the rest of that comment. So two things here, guys. Okay, if we're talking about civil conflict in the United Kingdom, I think it's going to be a lot closer than 6 months. I think we're looking at the next 2 months, and then we will see these things happen in the United Kingdom. If we're talking about a global conflict and by the United Kingdom, we're talking about we have to address the elephant in the room when we're talking about the United Kingdom, and we have to say, right, okay, the United Kingdom are leading the charge, I guess. The United Kingdom are leading the charge in Eastern Europe, in Ukraine. So, and I think that's already happening, guys. I think that's already happening. From you guys, the comments, from the comments that you guys have been throwing out there, the comments are, Sean, my friend's been forward to deploy. I've got friends who've been forward deployed in Ukraine. And look, guys, I've got no information on this. I've got zero inside information on this. This is literally what you guys have been putting in the comments. So some of you guys who've got friends in the military, you may be military yourself. And guys, look, what I'm saying now, what I'm saying now is everything that's in the comments. No, I'm not saying anything here that anybody sent me in a personal message, because those things are personal, private, sorry. So from the comments in the chat, people are getting deployed into Ukraine. We've had Ukrainians on the chat saying about 100 Western troops are crossing the border into Ukraine every week, and Western troops are not leaving Ukraine. If you walk around Kiev in the daytime, you'll see, not always, it's not like there's hundreds of them walking around, but you will see people in British military uniform, and I don't think these guys are Walter Mitty's. So, there could be I say there's a strong argument to say that there's already, there's already a big British military involvement in Ukraine. Right, I'm just going to jump up, guys, and get the comments over on YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been on for 32 minutes, and I don't think I've asked you to do it yet. Can you like, follow, comment, subscribe, the bell notifications, all the things? We're triple streaming today, guys. We are triple streaming. Not one, not two, but three. We are triple streaming, guys. We're on TikTok, we're on YouTube, and we are on X as well, guys. We are streaming on X. It's the first time. How's it going? What are we live streaming on X, guys? Are we good, bad, medium, up, down, left, right? I don't know. But guys, listen, can you do all those things that help the channel grow? Whether you're clicking up here, down below, up above, I don't know where it is. And share my stuff, guys. And please share my stuff, because that really helps me out as well. So let's jump over to YouTube, see what's happening on the YouTube, guys. Yeah, seven. Leslie Lowe saying 7,000 Afghanistan. Who were talking about that. Luke Jacob is saying Israeli bomb Syrian forces entering Druze city after sectarian. Guys, look, the situation, like the whole Middle East, guys. Okay, the whole Middle East, the best way to understand the Middle East is if somebody says to you they understand the Middle East. They don't understand the Middle East. So I'd say that this guy, the leader, what's his name? The leader of that group, was it like HSC or something? I can't remember what that group was, but they were prescribed as a really bad group, and we're not supposed to talk to them. As soon as he becomes a leader of a country, Oh, it doesn't matter what he's done. Doesn't matter what he's got a suit on now. He's got a suit on. He's got a suit and he shaved his beard off. He's all right now. Yeah, he's got a suit on and he shaved his beard. David Lammy, bring him in. David Lammy, bring him in. Oh yeah, you're gonna give him some money. Yeah, how much? 100 billion? I don't know. I just do what I'm told. It does seem that every time David Lammy goes away, he gives out a load of money. Ford now is saying stop drinking your supply. Yeah, guys, look. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you take one thing away from my live streams, it's make sure you have got yourselves some money, guys, okay? Make sure you get, what did I just say? Get yourself lots of money. Make sure you get yourselves some water, guys, okay? Make sure you get yourselves lots of water. I'm just pinning a comment that I've seen on TikTok. Yeah, and these little bottles here, guys, right? These little bottles, they're good, but you do keep drinking them. You do keep nipping into them. So I would say get yourselves a, get yourself the 5 litre bottles because they do seem to be a lot better, guys, okay? Because you don't keep nipping into them. Freddie is saying children investigated over Russia and Iranian plots against the UK. Yeah, look, guys, this is how it happens, right? This is how it happens. You know, we all think that sabotage, like we've all got this image. When you let's do a little thought experiment together, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do a thought experiment, all right? Word association, all right? Word association. I'll give you guys a couple of words, and you like think about what you think. I don't know. Apple, chair, swimming pool, saboteur, spy. You know, when we think of saboteur and spy, we often think of like, you know, a guy wearing like a black costume and a balaclava. And for me personally, when I'm thinking of a saboteur, I don't know why, but I think he's got a coil of rope wrapped around him and, and he's doing this. That's not the reality, guys. The reality is sabotage, espionage. Most of it now is done online. Everybody's got one of these things in their hands, guys. These things they're a great tool. They're a great weapon. They're a fantastic piece of equipment, but unfortunately, they can be used to cause harm. So yeah, as Freddie's saying there, children investigated over Russia and Iranian plots against the United Kingdom. Luke Jacobs over on YouTube is saying, as a nation, we lost our pride. A school in Warwickshire, has issued an apology after a 12-year-old girl was reportedly pulled out of class over a Union flag dress. Well done for calling it a Union flag. Yeah, so this girl I don't know, wherever you're watching, guys, whether you're watching later on YouTube or whether you're watching on X now, because we are triple streaming, ladies and gentlemen. We are triple streaming. So there was a girl. They said they're having like a culture day or something, and they said you've got to dress up, I think, as a culture you want to celebrate. And a girl's gone to school in a Union flag dress with a Union flag, a sequin dress, I believe it was, and a Union flag hat, and she's been sent home because apparently you're allowed to celebrate any other culture apart from British culture. And Lincolnshire Templar with a fantastic Lincoln Templars just commented. A Lincoln Templar, I don't mean to be, is that a Maltese cross on your profile picture? I think it is. I think that's a Maltese cross. But anyway, whether it's a Maltese cross or a Templar, Mike's back. Right, Mike, I told you to be good, mate. So Mike, I told you to be good, but now you're gone. See, Mike here, he just ruined it for himself, look. Mike tried to on TikTok, guys, I have to edit myself. So I've got 3 platforms to edit now, guys, okay? But don't worry, I can deal with it. Lincolnshire Templar saying, we now have Ethiopians and Somalians, those 2 guys don't get along apparently, roaming the streets of Skegness. I thought, like, isn't like it's like, yeah. So I am pretty sure. So, like, how did this happen, guys? Like, how did this happen? So now, as Lincolnshire Temple was saying, there's there's Ethiopians and Somalians roaming the streets of Skegness. Skegness, of all places, is nowhere sacred, ladies and gentlemen. Is nowhere sacred. Oh, hang on. Oh, somebody here called Tank Craig Baxter is saying, chuff in, going okay. Yes, it is. So I don't know if you guys know or not, but my sister's got I'm going to call it an eatery right now because there's certain words I can't say on TikTok. But yeah, that's if you want to go and give her a like or a follow or a subscribe, that's her name. I think she's on Facebook. But anyway, let me close that down. But yes, it is going okay. And then Freddie is saying fears over riots after secret asylum scheme made public. Guys, look, this is coming. This stuff's coming. And people who don't think this is coming, you guys really are in for a dilly swizzle when this happens, because it's all going to go bonkers. It's going to happen really quickly. We are going to hit that exponential curve where summer, you'll start to see low-level events, there'll be an incident, and boom, everything will be out. And listen, ladies and gentlemen, I don't mean to go over old rope, but the police cannot cope. We've seen now, and we've seen the direction whereby if a flash mob turn up, guys, look, and I'm genuinely concerned for everybody's security. If a flash mob turn up at an asylum hotel, at wherever, guys, it doesn't really matter where. If a flash mob turn up somewhere, getting leery, throwing bricks, throwing bottles after a few pints, if that's like a flash mob of like 50, 100 people, that whole chain of command then to drag people through, to drag people back through to the, what's the word I'm looking for? To drag people through from whatever job they're doing. Because don't forget, when you get a planned protest, the key word there, guys, is planned. You have to put like a report into an application to the police. The police say yes or no. Then you turn up, and then the police know you're going to be there. That's what I'm talking about. So they can say, right, lads, on next Wednesday we've got a planned protest. It could get nasty. We need a tactical support unit down at this hotel. That gives them the ability to get their riot shields out the containers. Polish them off, I don't know, put their body armor on, put their vests on, their elbow pads, their knee pads, their eye protections, their little helmets, get their fire extinguishers, their med kits. They can get all that stuff ready. If a flash mob turns up, ladies and gentlemen, there it is, that's a perfect example, yeah. Hang on. I've just pinned a comment, guys, I've just pinned a comment on TikTok, and he's saying it will be a domino effect. And I do think it will be a domino effect. Because once people see how effective or devastating, unimpeded these flash mobs can be, it's going to be very difficult for it not to spread. So let's just say you are in Ashford in Kent, all right? Let's just say you're in Ashford in Kent, all right? And there's a hotel, there's an incident in Ashford in Kent whereby 50 kids do something, they put videos online, and those videos go viral. What do you think the kids in Dover are going to be doing? What do you think the kids in Deal are going to be doing? What do you think the kids in Ramsgate are going to be doing? And this is what we're talking about, guys, a domino effect, a fire, and I think this article here from the Guardian says it best. The UK is a powder keg of social tensions. And this is how it's going to start, guys. And once it starts and once it gets traction, there really won't be any stopping it. But I'm going back quickly, guys, and I know I keep going over the same thing quite a few times. Imagine, Grumbling Grunts has commented, my first comment on X, Grumbling Grunts, let's see. So Grumbling Grunts on X has commented. I've got my first, thank you, Grumbling Grunts. You've given me my first comment on X. Let me see if I've got any more, actually. I only just noticed that was an X comment. Oh, no. I've got another one. No, sorry. The first comment was Matt Smith. Sorry, the first comment was Matt Smith. Sorry, I do apologise. I've just guys, listen, we're triple streaming today. It's the first time I've done it. It's the first time I've triple streamed. I've only just realised that on the on the software I'm using for the triple streaming, you get a little X or a Facebook or a YouTube little emblem, and that tells you what I can assume what platform they're commenting from. Anyway. But yeah, so you're the police chief or the police duty sergeant, you know, you get a phone call. Sean, we've got 50 kids outside the Raven Hotel in Oxford. Yeah, all right, what are they doing? They're getting pretty leery. I think it's going to kick off. Right, okay, I'll send a public order squad down, because as soon as they're throwing stuff, they can't just send normal officers, because they'll just get stones thrown at them. So they have to send a public order squad. That's going to take time. Guys, listen, I would speculate that that's going to take at least an hour. I would say that's going to get at least an hour. Mr. Mister is saying, get yourself on Twitch. Guys, look, it's taken me a while to double stream. I will try and stream to as many platforms as I can. Yeah, I will try and stream to as many platforms as I can. But that's the direction that we are looking like we're heading this summer, guys. But let me just do a quick update on this, because I do want to have an update on, on what has been happening with this, guys, because it is breaking at the moment. And when we started this, live stream, this news had only just broken. Right, I'm just going to read you this now, guys, from the BBC. This was 2 hours ago, but I don't think I've read it. Let's see if there's any more information on this. Remember, guys, this information that's coming out now, it's difficult to get through, because a lot of people are claiming different things. Thousands of Afghans were moved to the United Kingdom in a secret scheme. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. Thousands of Afghans moved to the United Kingdom under a secret scheme, which was set up after a British official inadvertently leaked their data. Wow. I mean, can you imagine, right? Can you imagine that guy or girl? Like, this has cost, for some estimates, Nigel Farage is saying this cost $7 billion. I personally, you know, I don't know. I don't know the exact numbers, and there's a lot of people reporting different numbers. But can you imagine that person who sent that, who inadvertently leaked that data, who shared something the wrong place? Just like that little send button cost £7 billion. Wow. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine? Right, now, this is the thing, guys, to me, that is more like, this thing here is, well, I'll just read it. But the existence of the leak and relocations were kept secret after the government obtained a super injunction stopping the public becoming aware. Now, I want to know, how many more of these super injunctions have happened? How many more incidents have been brushed under the carpet by these super injunctions? So, you know, like, how many more of these super injunctions are out there? I wonder if there's a website that tells you. I wonder if there's a public. I wonder if, and I don't know the answer to this, guys. I wonder if there's like a way you can. So for those of you guys, an injunction, a reporting injunction would be to say that you can't report on, I don't know, the Raven story. So say there was a Raven scandal, and there might be. Say there was a Raven scandal. An injunction would be you're not allowed to report about the Raven scandal, but you can say that there's a Raven scandal. A super injunction means you're not even allowed to acknowledge that there is a Raven scandal. You're just not allowed to mention anything, anything like that. You know, you've just got to pretend it doesn't exist. So I wonder if there's like a website or a freedom of information request you can put in that says how many super injunctions are currently in force. You know what I mean? Like where we're not allowed to know what the specifics are, but we know that there are like 10, 20, I don't even know how many this were. Yeah, listen, guys, Anna Cole, listen, guys, I said I was wrong. And I will put my hands up, guys. I will put my hands up, guys, okay? Where Anna Cole is saying, Anna Cole, I think that is, Anna Cole is saying, I told you they were UN soldiers about a year ago. And look, guys, I will be quite clear. I dismissed this. I said, look, guys, to say that the military, guys, look, you guys were right. If that, guys, this was far too deep for me to believe it was even happening, guys. I didn't believe this was happening, but it turns out from today that the rumors were right, okay? It turns out that the rumors were right, and I'll hold my hands up to it, guys. I thought this was a wild rumor. I thought it was totally unbelievable, but I was wrong. I was wrong, guys. I was wrong. So what's next? Do we really have reptilian overlords in charge of us all, and they're all like pulling the strings behind it? Is that where we're going next, guys? Did we really go to the moon? Did we really go to the moon? Are there aliens up there? Like, have we got a secret space program? Like, where do you go with this, guys? Because this has just torn open my whole belief system. Anyway, let me jump down and get these comments, guys. Listen, the chat is open. The chat is open, guys. So I do apologize if I can't get everyone's comments, guys. I do apologize if I can't get everyone's comments. Ladies and gentlemen, we're triple streaming today. Yeah, you heard that right. We are live streaming on TikTok, YouTube, and X. We have finally done it. I've given Elon Musk my my £11 so I can stream to you guys on 3 platforms at the same time, which alas I am doing. Oh, guys, thank you for the gifters as well. Hang on, guys. There's quite a few people who've been... guys, thank you all you guys. They're gifting. Quite a lot of people actually sending gifts. Thank you so much. Mick Edge, Darren, Vinny Holmes, Andrea66, Tabby, John, Mister has sent like some musical notes, I think, or something. Yeah, like a musical thing. I don't know what that is. A go for it. He sent me a go for it. Nikki Clacton, Lady Trace, Lady Sue, Paul Africa, guys. Loads of thank you everybody that sent me a gift, guys. Doris, Vinny Holmes, Doris again. Thank you so much. Right, let me move that up. Rose is saying, Rosie, Rose with a picture of a rose. And Rose, you do look like I'm sure you're a fine Rose. Rose is saying, so what happens when they come after all these soldiers as they now know they are here? Look, guys, I don't know what's happening next. I know what's happening now, and it's not good. I know that the United Kingdom is a powder keg of social tensions right now. I mean, how can it not be? We literally have, just look at Leicester, guys, okay? Look at Leicester. Power off internet, Sean, bro. What? Power off internet. David, what? I don't know what that means. But look, guys, just look at some of the nationalities that are coming. Like, honestly, are we the United Nations of Great Britain now? Are we the United Nations of Great Britain? It does seem bonkers, guys. Absolutely bonkers, dilly stonkers. So the question was, sorry, I totally skirted around that. So what happens when they come after all these soldiers as they now know they're here? I don't know. I mean, look, guys, and this is what people were saying. People were saying, and look, guys, I'm starting to think now. You know the images. You know the rumor that people were saying about the crates. These crates are being sent into hotels and you're not allowed to open them because if you open them, there's certain things inside. And I look, guys, and I'll stand by what I said. I think that is highly unlikely. That inside those things, inside those things are the long things that are made of steel and stuff comes out at the end. But I can also remember when when you guys were saying, Sean, is the government secretly importing soldiers from another country? And I'm like, no, guys, that's ridiculous. That's never going to happen. That's not happening at all. No, guys, that's wild. turns out, well, let me just read you the headline. Where is it? Where's the headlines? Turns out thousands of Afghans relocated under secret scheme after data leak. Now, this applies to people in Afghanistan who worked with the British military. Now, again, look, guys, I need to be quite clear. There's a lot of information. There's a lot of information being pushed in, being pushed out. There's a lot of numbers being pushed around. There's a lot of figures. So I just want to caveat this for the live stream, guys, okay? The numbers that I'm saying right now are the numbers that I'm reading off the mainstream media. These numbers may change, they may be inflated, they may be deflated. You know, I'm just saying it may be right, it may be wrong. But when you guys were saying, Sean, are the British government secretly when you guys were saying, Sean, the British government are secretly importing soldiers from other countries, I'm like, no, guys, that's not what's happening at all. Turns out I may have been wrong. But yeah, unbelievable, guys, unbelievable. Now we know that this is happening. My next question is, excuse me. My next question is, what else is being kept, guys? What else is being kept? What else is being kept secret from us? Right, Debbie Doobs. Yeah, Debbie Doobs is asking the next logical question here, guys. So, Debbie Doobs is asking, so what are what are these soldiers' roles going to be? Again, that is literally, guys, that's the next logical question that you would ask. I don't know. I don't want to speculate on this right now, guys, but what I will say to you guys is some people have been saying, how do I put this? Okay, so the question is from Debbie Doobs, so what are these soldiers' roles going to be? I'm going to answer a different question now, Debbie, and everybody else, and I'm sure you're going to be able to put these two together because it's not going to be hard. So remember a couple of weeks ago, can you remember, or maybe this week, in fact, it was last week. Can you guys remember guys, it's all adding up. Can you guys remember last week? There was an article out in the news saying the police chiefs saying they need to have a shake-up of the police system in the United Kingdom, or something like that, you know. They need to shake up the policing system in the United Kingdom. They need to have mega forces. So we need to amalgamate police forces and have a shake-up of the system. And what I did, I said, right, guys, what I think this is going to move on to is, I think this is going to lead to a scenario, this is going to lead to a scenario where we implement private security to backfill the police. Now, I think this is going to start pretty benign. And when I say this, guys, go to these hotels and look at the demographic of those people providing security. All right. I'm just gonna leave it there. How this will come in, guys, mark my words, it still happen. They'll say, oh, what we're going to do is we're just going to use private security. We're just going to use them for menial tasks. For example, if an alarm goes off at an industrial estate and there's no perceived risk to life or yada, 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 we're just going to send a private security team out there. Rather than waste police officers' time, we're just going to send some security officers out there and they're going to investigate. If there's an ongoing crime, they'll call on the radio and the real police will come out. And then what will happen is once that bill's passed and it's working and that's a working model, they'll say, oh, hang on. Well, do you know what? What we're going to do is, rather than a police officer go out every time, what we're going to do is we're going to give those people, those private security guards, the powers of detention. But don't worry, ladies, public. Don't worry, public. This is not the powers of arrest. No. This is the power of detention, not arrest, because only the police can arrest you. But these private security guards can detain you until a police officer gets there. And this is nothing This is nothing beyond the realms of what we do already, guys, because, a citizen can, any citizen can make a citizen's arrest if they see a crime being committed. So it's nothing new, guys. It's just giving these people, the private security companies, it's just giving them, the powers of detention. And you see where this is progressing to, guys. So Debbie Doobs has asked the question: what is the role of these people going to be? I don't know, but I do think that's coming. I do think all these things, are coming together, guys. And it just seems like a cunning plan. Sharon Owen is saying good evening, Sharon Owen. I know. Listen, guys, I'm on a little bit early today. For a couple of reasons, actually. A couple of reasons I'm on a little bit early today. First of all, I've not gone to the gym today because I've not gone. I did really well yesterday. I wanted to have a little bit of a rest day. I was running yesterday for half an hour at level 14.2, and I absolutely, you know what, guys? I thought it was fantastic. I thought, you know what, Sean? You definitely deserve the day off tomorrow. So I thought I'll come on early. So what I did is I got the, I got my X sorted out. Not my ex-girlfriend, I mean my ex-platform sorted out. So we are triple streaming, guys. And can you show, thank you, guys. Jody has just sent 10. You're awesomes. So Sharon Owen has sent a Go Popular. Thank you to all the gifters, guys. And Doris has sent a Stephen Wingman, which is a little B wingman. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much for that, guys. And if you're watching on X and you've no idea what we're talking about, don't worry about it. If you're watching on YouTube and you've no idea what we're talking about, don't worry about it, guys. Touch your nose, like, follow, comment, subscribe, do all those things that help this channel grow, guys, because it really does help this channel. Each one of you. Yeah, thank you, Paul Africa, for the sunglasses. It really does help this channel grow, guys. It really does. Right, let me jump up. Let's conversation. Nicola Bennett is saying they're already working security at matches and festivals. Right, okay, so here we have it, guys, okay? It does look like now we are outsourcing security. It does look like we are outsourcing security to, well, do you know what, guys? I'm going to give you something else. Where are they? Oh, they're up there. Couple of weeks ago, and I know you guys have. I know I've said this, guys. I'll keep this short. I'll give you the shortened version. I think last year sometime, I was at my friend's barbecue. I was being heckled by a guy who was calling me Brexit boy. Who was calling me gammon. I didn't bite. I was playing poker. I won his sunglasses, so I thought, you know what? He can heckle me all he wants. I've just won his sunglasses. He worked at the time as a security guard in a retail center, one of those like outlet centers. So he worked there as a security guard. Now he was employed as permanent staff. I saw him a couple of months ago, a couple of months ago. I saw him, and he was, bear in mind, the last time I saw him was like last summer, and he was very, what's wrong, Sean? You worried about a doctor stealing your job? What is it you do again? And I was like, yeah, all right, mate, yeah, all right. And so it turns out, all the people who did security at that location, they've all had the sack now for, I don't know, I think it's a cost-cutting exercise. And the people they've re-employed, all I'm going to say is English is not their first language. And this guy now, he's got kids, he's got a wife, and they've got bills to pay. And he's really seeing this and feeling this firsthand. I'm not going to obviously, rub anything in. But, this is what I'm talking about now, guys. We are outsourcing our security. So where do we go with this? Where does it go? And I did a video, and I think I was outside Aldi or something. And I did a video on this, and I said, look, guys, I don't know how I feel about this, but there was two girls standing outside Aldi with their trolleys. They'd been to Aldi, they came out, and I think they were waiting for a taxi or waiting for somebody to come and pick them up or something. And the security guard, he came out, and he started going through their shopping and saying, show me your receipt. And I don't know whether I was walking past and I was watching from far. And I can't remember whether the girls actually Because, you know, when you go at the counter, it says, do you want to take a receipt? And I never take the receipt. I mean, who takes the receipt, guys? I don't know. So I always press no. Now, what I'm getting at here is those girls were outside the shop. And this guy, this security guard who has been, the security guard, you know, he came outside the shop and he's asking them for the receipt, and then he's going through their bags while it's in their trolley, and they're still out, and they're outside the shop now. And I'm thinking, well, hang on a minute. I'm sure he doesn't have jurisdiction for that. And obviously, English is not his first language, so it's there's a bit of a language barrier between the girls and this security guy. And I'm thinking, right, okay, let's take this one step further, guys. Let's take this one step further. Let's say it's not two girls. Let's say it's not daytime. Let's say it's nighttime and it's one girl. Would that security guard follow that girl back to her car? I don't know. I don't know whether this would happen. I mean, the precedent's been started because he's come out of the store and he's going through their bags. You see where we're going, guys? You see the slippery slope we're on? You see this slippery slope that we are on now, guys? And guys, listen, I wish it was a maypole, but it's certainly not. Matt, oh, hang on. There's been a couple of comments on YouTube, guys. Hang on. Matt on YouTube is saying, I think local people should secure police in their own streets. Matt, I think this is happening anyway. You know, I do think this is happening anyway, and I think this should happen. Look, guys, the solution to all these problems are local solutions, all right? Oh, thank you so much for, guys, sending me the shields. Who sent me the shields? Paul Africa Twins sent me some sunglasses. Thank you. Gemini Blessing has sent me a family. Mr. sent me a shield. Thank you so much. And Gemini Blessing has sent 46 shields. Thank you so much, Gemini Blessing. Guys, listen, there's a group going round called The Shield. There's a group going round called The Shield. Now, I don't know how I feel about these guys. I know a lot of people now initially, like this group, The Shield, so part of me, guys, right? Look, guys, I don't make any money from coming on here and doing these, doing these live streams or anything, or coming on here. So, but I do this anyway. Now, this group, The Shield, they're doing like fundraising, and I don't know, guys. On one part of me, I'm thinking, right, okay, where are these funds going? On the other part of me is thinking, yeah, of course, people need money. So I don't know where I stand with this, guys. I really don't know where I stand with this group called The Shield. I genuinely don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't know where I stand with it. I don't know what's going to come of it. But if we're talking about people policing their own communities, I think that's a good thing. And I think people should take it on themselves, not outsource that to other people, as in the context that if you have a problem in your local community, and I'm not talking about doing anything like illegal, what I'm saying is if you have a problem in your local community, you should try and deal with that locally. Because I would suspect that big time government, big government don't really care. And people, how they say, oh, I only vote in the national election. Like, you do realize that if you vote in your local election, that will have more influence over your life. If you vote for somebody you want at local level, that will have more influence over your life. Because let's face it, guys, okay? I'm not even going to speculate about politicians again at this moment, guys. Right, let me jump down. Lisa Jane is over on YouTube, and she's saying, my daughter will not go anywhere alone, even to the shop, because of the diversity in Stoke-on-Trent. It's terrible, isn't it, guys, that we are in a situation now in the United Kingdom where this has happened to us, where this is actually happening now. And I think my mum said it best. Like my mother the other night, I'm not going to tell you what my mother's been going to the shop and buying, guys. I'm not going to say anything. All I'm going to say is I advised against it, all right? But my mum was round here, and for me, you know, I'm a veteran. I've seen active service all around the world. I've lived in Baghdad for 5 years. I've been active in Ukraine since 2014, I guess. You know, I've been around and I've seen so I understand how these things work, and that's why I can come on these live streams and answer questions to you guys in real time. I don't need to look online and research the answers. So for me, I'm just going through the motions. I'm thinking, right, okay, if things kick off in the UK, I need to have a vehicle that I can get from my house in one tank of fuel, any location in the UK, with 10-15% excess fuel. So that's what I'm thinking of, But I was talking to my mum, and she just started crying. She said, Sean, how's it got to this? And it was a really big moment for me, because up until that moment, I'd not realized that other people didn't have my knowledge, guys, didn't have my expertise in this sphere. And I think this is piggybacked, I guess. This is piggybacked from the reason why we started these channels initially. So the reasons why we started these channels initially was because back in 2022, the 2022 invasion of Ukraine, I'm triple streaming at the moment, but back then I was probably, I don't know, I had loads of networks open, Signal channels, Wikime channels, WhatsApp channels, all sorts of different media. I was trying to organize so much stuff at that time, guys, from the UK. And then after a week, I went out to Ukraine. I helped with the evacuation. It was wild. But my mum turned up, so we've got quite a long driveway, and the gate at the bottom, it's a manual gate, because I don't want an electronic gate, because an electronic gate can be hacked. So the gate at the bottom, it's manual, so I always have it locked. I always have it locked. It's very difficult to get over. It's very difficult to see as well. So I always have that locked. My mum phoned me up. She's like, Sean, can you come and open the gate? I was like, oh, right, okay, I'll come down. So I walked down. And then when I got to the bottom, guys, my mum, she was stood there. All her makeup was smudged. She'd been crying. She had 2 bags in her hands. Honestly, guys, she had a bag of... I shouldn't laugh. One bag was full of UHT milk and tea bags. I think she might have had some sugar in there. And the other bag was full of chunky soup from Aldi. I said, what you got? She said, anyway, she came up the drive. It's probably about 50 meters. She came up the drive and she sat down on the bench, and she's like, oh. I was like, what's wrong? And my mother genuinely believed that there was going to be nuclear weapons coming in. She genuinely believed there was going to be nuclear weapons coming in. So, and what she said to me, she was like, Sean, if the nuclear bombs come, can I come and get in the cellar? Because, my mum knows that I've always had the cellar done out with enough food for me and the family for 3 months, and I've just always had that, guys. I've always had that. So I was like, right, okay. I said that first of all, that's not going to happen. But I realized that a lot of people don't understand geopolitics. Most of all mainstream media, guys. Okay, most of all mainstream media, they have no idea. They are they're the worst. And they don't understand these things. They don't understand the dynamics. They don't understand the personalities. They don't understand the culture. They don't understand the dynamics, the interpersonal relationships that make things happen. And ultimately, guys, that is why we started this channel. But moving forwards, now we're talking about civil unrest in the United Kingdom, which does look like it's getting... Look, guys, it's not even me that's this is not even my analysis, my speculation, and my opinion anymore. An article today from... Where are we going? Where was this? The Guardian. An article today, guys, from The Guardian. UK is a powder keg of social tensions a year on from the summer riots, reports warn. And I'll just leave it there, guys, as you can go and read the article yourself. But what it talks about is things are worse than ever now in the United Kingdom. And every day, with every boat, with every £1 million, I mean, guys, look, why have we always got millions of, why is there always millions and millions of pounds to send to other countries in foreign aid, yet we can't look after our own people? Why is there always millions and millions of pounds for defence, yet we can't stop rubber dinghies? Look, guys, the crux of this video, the crux of this live stream is, I'll be honest with you guys, I was wrong. Guys, I was wrong. When you guys were saying that the British government are secretly importing, where the British government said, where you guys were saying that the British government was secretly importing foreign soldiers, I was like, guys, that's not happening. I don't see that happening. Well, it turns out Raven was wrong and you guys were right. But yeah, sorry guys, I think I waffled a little bit too much. Lisa Jane is saying, The Shield, Chris Hargreaves, lots of guys are joining the movement. Chris Hargreaves is a businessman, a biker, but more and more people are fed up with their communities being unsafe. So guys, this movement, this group, The Shield, what do they aim to do? Like, what do they aim to do? What are they trying to do, guys? What are they trying to do, this community, this movement, The Shield? Because for me, anytime people start asking you for money and they're not giving you something in return, I always question where your money's going. And again, guys, look, this goes back from one of my earliest business mentors. And he would say to me, Sean, stop. Don't talk to people unless they have money. Do you know what, guys? That's not the wrestler he was talking about. He was saying, Sean, always follow. He did say that, but he also, the more relevant thing is, Sean, always follow the money trail. Always follow the money trail. Where's that money going? Where does it start? Where does it end? And then you have a better understanding, because guess what? People don't do things for nothing. So yeah, I always question when people start asking for money. John Thistlethwaite over on, I think YouTube. Yeah, YouTube is saying, I've got to agree with you, Sean. My friends have been rubbished on Facebook. I'm not really sure. Best not send any money till you have checked it out yourselves. What do you mean? So, John, what do you mean they've been rubbished on Facebook? Right, let me jump down. Sam Hussein is saying, get an AK-47. Sam Hussein, right. We live in the United Kingdom and, those things are illegal and we don't have access to them. And to be honest, ladies and gentlemen, I probably wouldn't have one anyway because they're not that good. Lisa Jane is saying, the Shield are out there leaving phone numbers for women and children to have somebody to ring and they will take them home safely. Oh, okay, right. I mean, the numbers that are going to be involved there, guys, are phenomenal. So look, guys, and I don't know if this is, I don't know. I'm just reading what Lisa Jane's saying here, guys. Okay. So Lisa Jane is saying, the Shield are out there leaving phone numbers for women and children to have somebody to ring and they will take them home safely. So it's kind of like a biker QRF, and like you can ring up and like, to me, that sounds like private security. If you've got and I don't know, guys, like, do you have to pay a subscription for this? Like, how do you know Karen is just not going to have a couple too many beers and say, I'm telling you now, Ray, I'm going to phone Shield up and they're going to come and pick me up in their motorbikes and bring me home. It's going to be right good. No, I'm not getting a taxi, me, man. I'm going to phone Shield. I'm going to phone Shield and they're going to give me a taxi home. Like, I don't know, guys. Look, there's just a lot of question marks, okay? And I think we deal with this. All this needs to be dealt with at local level, guys, okay? All this stuff needs to be dealt with at local level. But the sheer numbers that are going to be involved, if we're saying the Shield are going to be a national helpline. Look, guys, okay, let me be quite clear. Anybody who's trying to do something, I think is good. I'm just at an age now, guys, where I just suspect everyone. I just suspect everyone. And look, guys, I'm certainly not saying that their motives are not. I'm not saying that these guys in the Shield are not great guys. I'm not saying that they're not trustworthy. I'm not saying anything negative. All I'm saying is I'm conscious about handing money over to people. I'm conscious when that happens, people know you can start to make money. So, like Reform, I would say, it started off as something that was really good. Its core was really good. Then when you started to get donors, when they started to get traction, you got donors and people like, oh, right, I'll give you this many millions. But I want this in return. And then it just becomes dirty, guys. Okay, I'm not saying the Shield is going to get dirty. I'm saying politics is dirty. Once bitten, twice shy. That's what I'm saying, guys, okay? John Thistlesway is saying, sorry, Sean, I was talking about the Shield. Oh, right, okay. You are asked to contribute to their upkeep. They have come from Norway. Very, very suspicious. Just my opinion, right, okay. So listen, guys, I don't know this. We're talking about the Shield at the moment. Look, guys, if there's any members of the Shield, I'd be willing to get you in and talk to you and let you dispel this, guys. I'm not calling anyone out. All I'm saying, I'm reading this comment, okay? John's saying he was talking about somebody called from the Shield. They asked for contributions to their upkeep. They have come from Norway. Is this another Viking invasion, guys? Is this another Viking invasion that we're paying for now? Are we paying for another Viking invasion? Right. The Afters on YouTube is saying, so the Afters on YouTube is saying, do you think the wealth tax would work? Absolutely not, guys. Absolutely not. We know statistically, guys, that after the wealth tax has been introduced, stop. Let me rewind a little bit. We know that the taxes making it harder for people to employ people stopped people employing people. Yeah, go figure. Go figure that one, Angela. I'm going to introduce a tax. We're not going to hurt them working class people. We're going to come after them people who are profiting on working people. We're going to tax them loads. What do you mean, Angela? We're gonna look at these trousers. Have you seen colour of these? They say it's greeny blue, and somebody said it's turquoise. I don't know myself, but look at them. I get a matching top. Whatever, Angela. So like the context of these tax raises is just destroying wealth, the little bit of wealth that people had. So now with these taxes that have been imposed on employers, like the national insurance tax, if somebody works for you, and they're an employee, they've got rights. And like, I think it's a crazy thing where if you work for somebody, as soon as you work for them, you can go on maternity leave and then you can resign. So can you imagine that now? Look, guys, I may be slightly wrong on that. But can you imagine now the situation where we could be in, allegedly, where you go and get a job at a company, because men and women can get maternity leave now. You get a job at a company, right? You get a job at a company. After a week, you say, I want to go on maternity leave. Like, what? You've only been here a week? Yeah, tough. I'm going on maternity leave. You get paid through your maternity leave. At the end of maternity leave, you go, I'm resigning now. Thanks for the job, though. You see where I'm going with this, guys? You see where I'm going with this? So that has stopped people employing people. And what we know as fact, there were in May, there were over 100,000 less jobs in the United Kingdom. So it's destroyed the jobs market. And I would say a wealth tax, taxing wealthy individuals, guys, is not going to work. It's not going to work. Why? Because they don't want to be taxed. They pay enough tax anyway. And people say, oh, but Sean, this person's got this many millions. Yes. And I get that. We're in late stage capitalism, guys. And that's another argument. We are in late stage capitalism, whereby all the companies, all the infrastructure, all the media, they're all controlled by a few people. But the reality is, if you start taxing rich people and you know, they're going to leave the country. And it's not just rich people that are leaving the country, guys, okay? It's people who are not even that rich. It's people who've got a couple $100,000 in the bank and they're like, do you know what? Kids have left school. Why am I staying here to get taxed? Like, literally, the weather's pants, there's no water, there's high bills, there's high energy costs. You know, I don't speak the language, I don't speak the native language anymore. Why am I staying in the United Kingdom? And those people are leaving, and they're the innovators, they're the people who you want in this country. But the people that are coming in, we're getting rid of the contributors and importing the, like, non-contributors. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't think it's going to work. If it was going to work, I don't think they'd employ that tax. Oh, hang on. Mind, Body and Spirit. Mind, Body and Spirit over on Mind, Body and Spirit over on Mind, Body and Spirit over on YouTube is saying maybe all unemployed should be sent out for peacekeeping with training, of course. I would look, guys. I do think that if you're on some sort of like unemployment, like benefit or something, I do think you should have to do something for the community, guys. I do. I really do think you should have to do something for the community. I'm trying to get away with not a lot. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we have been on for an hour 24 on TikTok. Guys, listen, I'm going to jump over now. I'm going to close the TikTok down. I'm going to be over on YouTube and X. So I'm going to close the TikTok down now, guys. If I hang on, TJJT, in fact, JTTJ is saying there's the Great Dover protest this Saturday. So this Saturday, guys, there's going to be a protest that's not a protest. It's going to be a beach party or something on Dover beaches. That's this Saturday. And I think, as I understand it, I may be slightly wrong on this, but I think tomorrow, Wednesday, there is another planned protest outside that, go on. Outside that Bell Hotel in the Bell Hotel in Essex. So guys, just keep those in mind. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, right, I'm going to close this down now on TikTok, guys. I'm going to close. Oh, sorry, guys. Sorry, I was wrong. Stop. It was. It's Thursday. It's Thursday. JTTJ is saying it's Thursday in Epping outside the Bell Hotel, guys. Sorry, guys. Thursday, not Wednesday. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to close you guys down now on TikTok. Please share and like and follow and subscribe. Join us on all our platforms, guys. Now we are streaming on TikTok, we're streaming on YouTube, and we are streaming on X. So please go and show your support there, guys. We're going to go over to YouTube and X, where I can talk a little bit more freely, where I'm not going to get censored, because you guys know how many videos I get banned and how many lives I get taken down. I'm on a thin string at the moment, guys, but I'll be jumping over to I'm jumping over now, guys, to YouTube and X. I'll see you guys tomorrow, hopefully at 10. Right, I think we're on, guys. I think we are off. We are off, ladies and gentlemen. We are only now streaming on TikTok. We're not here on TikTok at all. We are only streaming on X. We are only streaming on YouTube. So, as I understand it, I can say a little bit more on these platforms, guys, okay? I still need to mind my words because I don't want to be overly offensive to anyone. But the algorithm on TikTok, guys, honestly, it swizzles me for so much stuff. It just kicks me off all the time. I get banned. I get videos taken down. It's becoming, it gets to such a stage where I'm watching live stream. I don't watch live streams on, if you could, basically, you'll see where I'm going. You know, I got sent a live stream, right? And there's people doing blatant things that are like really offensive. And then I said, what did I say on, I can't remember even what I said on TikTok. I said something like, I don't trust Russians or something. I can't remember something like that. And I got my live banned. I got a violation, and I had to watch these videos like that say that you can't offend people. I was like, so like, So because I don't know, guys, but anyway, that's the direction of travel. That's what happened. So I have to be, I have to be very careful about what I'm saying. Hello, everybody. Welcome over. Natalie Unwin is saying, did you see what happened in Scotland? 3 women drove a van into an arms factory there under terror charges. I didn't. Is that recent, Natalie? Is that recent? Let me have a look what's happening on the, let me see if I can find this on the news. But look, guys, what I have said is these sort of things, you would likely see these things happen as we move into this, as we move into this craziness. I mean, let me give you some more on this, actually. Right, so I didn't want to get into this on TikTok, guys, because I might have got the live stream banned, because you'll see where I'm going. So there's an article out now in the Telegraph. It was published today at 6:27. Russia and Iran are trying to recruit British school children for espionage. Counter-terrorist police urge parents and teachers to be vigilant over the threat. Now, guys, look, I've said this is coming for a long time. So what I would say will happen is people who are, and these bad guys, Russia or whoever, your near peer adversaries, they know what age children are impressionable. And kids, when they're at that certain age, they become very impressionable, they're disillusioned with Britain. You feed them propaganda, you feed them relative hate speech, I guess. And then those kids, they think, yeah, I'm going to do this. Or do you know what? Maybe you don't even do that. Maybe you don't even do that. Maybe all you say is, hello, Sean. Hello, Sean. I understand. Hey, Sean, listen, my mum used to work for that electricity company, and she got injured, and they didn't pay her out. And do you know what? I've got a friend who's willing to pay you £1,000 if you just go and set a fire by this little transformer. Just go and stack a load of stuff up and set a fire, and I'll give you £1,000. Oh, do you know what? Do you know what? Yeah, that terrible electricity company, that girl's nan, you dismissed that nan with no money. Oh, you're disgusting, this electricity. Yeah, I'll do that for £1,000. Yeah, I'll help you out. But you see where I'm going, guys. So there's two aspects to this. One, absolute paid stooges, guys. Okay, useful idiots. People that don't actually understand what they're doing. People who don't actually understand what they're getting themselves into. Hey, Sean, can you get me some pictures of this police station? Can you get me some pictures of this Air Force base and just send them to this random Gmail account? Can you do that, please? There you go, guys. That's espionage. That's easy. And I'll pay you like X pounds for each one you send, and I'll pay you this much for a video if you can get high definition. That's how espionage works now. It turns out that the Telegraph are reporting Russia and Iran trying to recruit British school children for espionage. I would go one further on that, guys. I'd go one further. I'd say they will. They're going to be trying to, recruit anyone. So they're going to try and recruit people from the. People from migrants. They are going to try and recruit migrants, guys, because guess what? Those people who came over here illegally, the first thing they did when they came over to the United Kingdom was commit a crime. So by definition, they're all illegal. They're all criminals. So those people, I'd say, are a big workforce. People who are in the country illegally, people who are third, fourth generation, they claim to be British, but, they don't speak any English and they live in different communities. That is the workforce that these people have got. And it's very easy to pay these people. If you've got a community in the United Kingdom who don't have that affinity with the United Kingdom, then it's very easy to give them some money to go and set fire to this, set fire to that, drill a hole in this water pipe, drill a hole in that water pipe, go and set fire to that pumping station. And right now in the United Kingdom, guys, it's just crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Tim Linsky is saying, thought I'd try an airsoft automatic. Mad as out, it would stop anyone at 20 meters. Ah, Timsky. I can remember when I was in the army, everybody had these like airsoft rifles. Honestly, like they are quite painful. I don't think they're gonna stop anyone. But like when you get like hit on in automatic with them, and those little things that hit you in the neck, it's really painful. What's that? I think it's an Austin Powers movie where he throws his shoe and he goes, "Ow, that really hurt." I think you get like that Austin Powers thing. Oh, hang on. Lisa Jane is saying, Sean, look at this fire in Kilmarnock. It's a right. Hang on, guys. So is that another fire that's broken out? Okay, so there's a fire in Kilmarnock. Terrifying fire rips through Kilmarnock building as tower and walls collapse. Fire which ripped through Ayrshire Street being treated as deliberate. Oh, here we are, guys. Here we are. Thank you, Lisa Jane, for putting me on with this, Lisa Jane. Thank you so much. I wasn't aware of this. Look, guys, we don't know what's sabotage. We don't. And the reality is we'll probably never know. But I've said this so many times, you're going to see things getting set. Things are going to start to burn. So yesterday we saw fires where did we see fires yesterday? Where was the fires yesterday? Essex in Dagenham. Fires yesterday in Dagenham in Essex. Fires today in Kilmarnock. All these, remember guys, okay? It's very easy to set fire to things. Petrol and matches, they don't cost much. And I would say, so you've got your work, like, and when people say, Sean, are we going to get attacked by Russia? Are we going to get attacked by the bad guys? I'm like, yes, but no, not what you think. And while everybody's looking and thinking, everybody's looking at these massive missiles that are going to come over. We can launch arsenic to any place in United Kingdom and destroy with impunity. It is unstoppable arsenic. Yes, that's true. But you know what? We have our own submarines with our own missile fleet in them, and we can do the same, Russia. So you'll get stuff come back to you. But with sabotage, you can have the same or better effect. And there's actually absolutely no comeback on you. If, for example, let's just say, 5 people, let's just say, for example, a substation gets set on fire and they catch the people setting that on fire red-handed. How do you prove that link back to whoever funded that or whoever orchestrated that? It's virtually impossible, guys. It's virtually impossible. It really is. James Brooke Wavel is saying, I've been arguing with climate change cult today. They're full of it. I said, look at the sea forts and castles in Europe built by the Templars 1,000 years ago. The tide line is still the same. Yeah, I think I did a video about this a while ago. In Wales, there's a castle in Wales. Now, it's on the coast of Wales, and the English were able to resupply that castle from the sea, and the Welsh couldn't take I can't remember what the castle's called, but you can see where the stairs come down, and like it's the water level today is actually lower, and obviously they'll probably use wood or something to get all the way down. But yeah, I totally agree with that. I do think we're going to find out that climate change, you know what, guys, I do think climate change is a bit of a scam, but the wording. So, right, if you go outside and cough in a hurricane, you are contributing to that hurricane. You are. Like, that tiny little bit you're contributing to it. I think that's the same scenario, guys, here with this climate change. And I don't think we should destroy ourselves for that. Just quickly, guys, something really a little... While we're talking about climate change, this is a question that Lee Anderson asked Ed Miliband today, guys. It's quite funny. I'll just let this play. I'm going to let this play while I get another bottle of water.
Lee Anderson.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. The statement from the Energy Secretary sounded like a desperate attempt to save his own job. But he's right. The British people do need protecting. You need protection for the Energy Secretary, because businesses that I visit every single week say that these madcap ideas are killing growth, killing business, and killing jobs. But I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt if he can answer one simple question, which he's already refused to answer. By how much will the Earth's temperature be reduced by if the UK became net zero tomorrow? Simple question.
So, guys, just for context, Lee Anderson's asked Ed Miliband how much the Earth's temperature would reduce if the United Kingdom managed to meet all our net zero targets tomorrow. So this is Lee Anderson's answer. And listen to him fumble because he doesn't know what to say.
And the answer, which he just doesn't want to accept, is this. If he just listens, the answer is this. I believe in British leadership. I believe in Britain's ability to make a difference. And the truth is, when we, as I said in my statement, when we passed the Climate Change Act, 60 countries followed. When we legislated for net zero, many other countries followed. He talks Britain down. I believe in Britain.
This is what we're dealing with, guys. This is the cream of the crop. Baby, don't stop. This is the cream of the crop of the United Kingdom, guys. It is apocalyptic. This reminds me of a comedy. There was a comedy with, what's the guy? Will Ferrell. There's a guy, I can't remember what the movie is, but it's got Will Ferrell, and he's like, he's supposed to be like running for senator or something, and he asks Will Ferrell a question, and Will Ferrell answers the question by saying something like, "We're America, we're not going to stand for this, we're going to do it, and we're going to do it together, yeah," and everybody's cheering, going, yeah, and you're like, that didn't answer the question. So like, the question was by Lee Anderson, how much, sorry guys, so the question was by Lee Anderson, how much will the global temperature come down if the United Kingdom hit net zero tomorrow? Ed Miliband's answer was, I believe in Britain. Like, I don't even know, guys. Sometimes I'm definitely on a parody right now. We are definitely in a parody. Yeah, it's just absolutely insane. But yeah, guys, I do think the climate change is a bit of a swizzle, guys. I do think the climate change is a little bit of a swizzle, guys. I don't think anything positive is going to come from that anyway. Right, guys, listen, I'm going to go through this one last time, and then I'm going to start to close this down. Let me just have a quick check, see if nothing's happened while we have been live. No, we are good. I think we're good, guys. Few things happening with the Sycamore Gap. I think those two guys are ridiculous for chopping that tree down. I mean, why would you do that? You've got Donald Trump and his 50-day ultimatum to Vladimir Putin. I can remember when he gave him a 2-week ultimatum. Now he's giving him a 50-day ultimatum. What's he going to do next? Give him a 60-day ultimatum? At some point, look, guys, scroll back through my videos. I said this would happen. I said Vladimir Putin is not going to listen to Donald Trump because Vladimir Putin is the richest man on earth. And you know what, guys? When you're the richest man on earth, you don't need to listen to Donald Trump. You're like, yeah, thanks, Donald, but I've got quite a lot more money than you. I'm never going to have to worry about anything in my entire life. I can do what I want because I'm Vladimir Putin. So he's not going to be too worried about. What Donald Trump's saying. This Afghan relocated secret deal in the United Kingdom, guys, absolute bonkers. I can remember. Excuse me. I can remember when people were saying to me, Sean, is it true that thousands of foreign soldiers are being secretly brought into the United Kingdom? I was like, no, guys, that's not happening. They're genuine, for it to be a soldier, they're going to have training. It just wasn't in my head. It wasn't logistically feasible. But apparently, it was true. I'll hold my hands up, guys. It was true. I can't believe it. It's bonkers. Jane Taylor is saying the document was sent by a Royal Marine who was in charge of vetting asylum seekers to a group of trusted Afghan contacts in the UK. The soldier worked out of the Regent's Park barracks. All right, Jane Taylor, I didn't know that, but can you imagine that Royal Marine, that little email he sent was cost by some accounts, by Nigel Farage's accounts, that email cost £7 billion. It's phenomenal, guys. It's phenomenal. But turns out the government are genuinely secretly bringing in migrants, secretly bringing in soldiers into the United Kingdom. Any news on the street closures due to the mystery package? No, I haven't, Jane Taylor. Where did that happen? Where was the street? Jane Taylor, can you tell me what streets were closed or where that was? I'll try and get that up and have a look at it. James quickly is saying US government have admitted spraying the skies. It was DARPA and it stopped under Trump, which is why cloud seeding has stopped and we have had hot summers. That's interesting. That is interesting. I've not thought. Yeah, I know that back in the 1950s they started cloud seeding in the United Kingdom. It was a depending on which way you look at it, it was a disaster or it was a massive success. They tried cloud seeding. Is it like silver nitrate or I don't know what it is, but they spray this stuff into the air. And when they spray this stuff into the air, it makes it rain. Guys, look, I don't know what it is. You could probably find it with a quick Google search. And they did this. I want to say it was 1956. It was a joint British and American project. Yeah, it rained, and I think the water levels rose like 16 feet in this small village in, I think it was Devon. People died. It was like, it was a big secret and people hid this secret. But so the science worked brilliantly, but it worked terribly as well because people tragically lost their lives. Now, to be able, having the ability to be able to manipulate the weather is guys, to be able to manipulate the weather, it's like a fantastic weapon if you can do it. So I've no doubt the government have put lots of funding into this. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, right, guys, I'm going to close this today. Whether you're watching on X or YouTube, or maybe if you were watching earlier on TikTok, thank you, guys. Can you do all the buttons that help? The like, the comment, the subscribe, bell notification down below. Tell your friends, your family, your mum, your dad, your gran, your cat, your aunt, your uncle, your goldfish, your dogs, your cats, your hamsters, your bunnies, your rats, your cats. Tell everybody, guys, come and join in, join to the chat, join to the live stream. Let's see what's happening, guys, because ultimately we're all in this together. And I'm just a guy sat in my extension talking to you guys, trying to give you guys my experience, trying to give you guys my knowledge, and trying to bring people's awareness up so that dispels fear a lot of the time. Anyway, guys, I will be back on tomorrow morning, I hope, at 10, and I'll see you there.